Beccas By The Bay. I'm your South Texas soaper, Becca, and I have been busy all weekend learning up more about liquid soap making. I've attempted it in the past, and I don't feel like I was successful at it. So I did. There's not a whole lot of resources as far as books and information. The one I found so far that's been the most helpful has been The Ultimate Guide to Liquid Soap Making by Ashley Green. She's in the liquid soap making groups on Facebook, and she has a YouTube channel. I'll put the links down below. So I can't go into too much detail because they are her recipes. I tweaked them based on what I had on hand. So instead of me going out and purchasing more stuff, I tweaked the recipes to what I had on hand. So I was experimenting this weekend, and this was an apricot, olive pomace, organic coconut, and castor recipe that I did. And it's pretty fluid because I've already added my, it's so 35% soap and then something, no, 65% distilled water. So this one had awesome bubbles, and I'll show you in a minute. It is, I would like it a little bit thicker. I'm experimenting, so, you know, let's see. I really love apricot oil. So that, you know, this had goat milk in it, and it had glycerin and cane sugar and sodium lactate. So some of the things I was learning was salt can thicken your liquid soaps. Regular salt, table salt, will be slightly cloudy-ish, and sodium lactate will be more crystal clear. Sodium lactate's a little bit more expensive though, so that's probably why this one is super duper clear, even though there's goat milk in it. This one had the sodium lactate with the cane sugar. Let's see, the next one I did was this is a goat milk, activated charcoal, and tea tree oil, and I've got apricot, castor, cocoa butter, coconut oil, olive pomace, and sunflower oil. And then I had cane sugar, and I didn't have table salt, so I used sea salt. I know it has more minerals in it, and I wasn't sure how it was going to come out, but I think it came out beautiful. It's like very fluid, and I made this one at a 35% water dilution, so 65 water, 35% soap. And I really like how this one came out. This had really nice bubbles too, nice and creamy. And then I wanted to try one using honey. So I used one with honey, sunflower, olive pomace, or organic coconut oil, and I used goat milk, and it's like caramel. I mean, this is a 5%. This is actually 30% soap, 70% water, and it's very, very caramel. It's like a really nice thick. You could keep watering this down for different uses, and I really like how thick this one came out. And I used sea salt with this. I wasn't sure if it came out really thick because of the honey or the sea salt, so I did the same exact recipe again using all the same things, with glycerin and goat milk, and this is the cane sugar. So this is, let me show you guys. That's the cane sugar over here. And it's not clear. That's probably because of the salt, and I use sea salt again. It's the salt and the goat milk, but very, like, look at how creamy and thick that is. It's just crazy. It's not even coming out yet. And those were all diluted at a 30% soap, 70% water. Now, I'm not going to go into details about how I made this. Her book is awesome. It's 500 pages of, like, super knowledge. And I'm not getting anything for doing this kind of comparison or talking about it and stuff like that. I just wanted to be able to make liquid soaps and not mess them up. And her book is like a thumbs up. I think it's awesome information. So I'll put the link down below. and I'm gonna keep experimenting. I just love it. So much fun. But I thought this would come out a little bit clearer, and it is still. Woo, bring it in for a closey. So I just made this one. This one took me an hour. Now her recipes take, some of them take 30 minutes, start to finish, to make the liquid soaps, which is really amazing. And I think this is starting to clear up a little bit more, so I'm going to let it keep going on low. One note that I wanted to make for myself and future references is that when I soaked at a slightly lower temperature, where my oils were just under 200, it took me about an hour from start to finish. And I noticed my colorings gave me a nice lighter coloring for my soap. So these were all just around 200 degrees. This one was also done, I know you can't tell, it's activated charcoal. This was also done at 200 degrees. This one was done at 220 to 230, and it, the honey, kind of caramelized a little bit. I may try this one again and do it at lower temperature. Even though it takes me an hour, I'm going to get a lighter color is what my thoughts are on that one. So let me get some water for you guys. I've got some distilled water, and you have to use distilled water for this. So I'm just pouring tiny speckles in, and I'll show you my bubble results. So this is the one that came out thinner than I had hoped. And this one actually had, let's see, out of all the 4 soaps that I did, that one had the sodium lactate. So either I just watered it too much, or it was still only like, I'm just putting like a teaspoon in. I'll have to bring you down a little bit closer to see the bubbles, I think. Let's see. All right. So I did this earlier for my friends, and they were just blown away. This is just gorgeous, fluffy, big, Hollywood style kind of bubbles. And this is all natural. I did add a preservative after it was all cooled down. Oh my gosh! That blows my mind. Blows my freaking mind. Alright, so there's that one. Dump that one out. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit more water. And I'm only adding probably like less than a quarter of a cup. So I'm going to do the apricot one, like just a teaspoon. Probably a little bit more water. A little bit more water. I want to be able to look back on my video and see how I liked the recipes and where I want to tweak them. So this is the activated charcoal with the tea tree oil and goat milk, and it's just like a medium bubble. It is just beautiful and silky and amazing. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to dump that one out. And these are very moisturizing. Really impressed with how well these came out. Add a little bit more water. Alright, So now we've got our honey one. I'm just gonna probably drizzle a little bit off of my thing here. There's some drizzle. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. This is awesome for like bath and body gel, shower, bubble bath. I cannot believe the bubbles I'm getting. Beautiful. And these lasted probably 30 to 40 minutes of bubbles before it started to kind of dissipate. So beautiful, 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 gorgeous bubbles on the honey one. Dump that one out. See, got one more to go. A little bit of water. A little bit of, and this is the same one as the honey one, except I did this with cane sugar. So a little drizzle in there. And it doesn't take long. I just probably could put a little more water. Beautiful, medium, soft, silky bubbles of the goat milk and the cane sugar. And it's pretty much the same as the honey. I don't see any difference in the texture or the feeling. I mean, other than your color, the honey's going to be darker. So if you're going for a clear bottle, you're going to want something a little more clear, probably like this. My bottles are blue, so I don't really care what color they are as far as the coloring, as long as I get the properties and nourishing soapiness that I wanted going on. I'm just so excited about it. So I'm going to finish wrapping this up. Again, I just think her book was really, really super informative and valuable, easy to read. I literally read 500 pages in a day. I had the time this weekend, so I did. And that's a lot of reading for me. And they have access by email and the Facebook, I think, private messaging and things like that to answer any kind of questions. Yeah, so this was a win-win. I've tried liquid soap making before, and it literally took me a couple of days. And that's just really hard on my neck and shoulders and back, and it's scary to me to leave it in a crock pot and worry about stuff volcanoing over and things like that. Now, when I did work with the honey at a higher temperature, it did volcano a lot more than when I worked at around 200 temperature range. Anything over 220 tended to volcano a little bit more. So that's the only differences I noticed. And the higher temperature, it was definitely done start to finish 30 minutes. Took me more of like an hour probably for just under the 200 temperature, which an hour is not bad for liquid soap, start to finish. And then let it, dilute it, and then it's ready that day. And then yeah, so super excited about this. Total game changer for a soap maker. And I hope you guys have a fabulous week. So we'll see you next time at Beccas by the Bay. And when I have stuff sorted out and figured out for percentages and playing with different things, I will have this stuff, body wash, bubble bath, and things like that, made to order on my Etsy shop at Beccas by the Bay. And what I will do is mix up your fragrance oil or essential oil at the time that you order it, bottle it, label it, ship it out the very next day. So super excited about that. Really, really excited about the bubbles and how luxurious this is, how moisturizing it is. Not stripping. My hands are still very freckled, but they are hydrated. They're not strip dry. They're not peeling. They're not cracking. And I usually suffer from eczema. So whenever I try anything from the store of a soap, it just trashes my hands instantly and I start peeling. That's why we make the soaps that we do at home. And I just am so excited to have liquid soap in the house again. It's been over 4+ years of having or using any kind of liquid soap. So totally amazing. So thank you, Ashley Green, for providing all kinds of scientific research and stuff like that and writing up your book. It's awesome. From our urban farm to yours. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next time at Beccas By The Bay.